Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and pool fans watching around the world. Welcome to the final day of the 36th U.S. Open 9-Ball Championships. We're broadcasting live in HD from the Accu-Stats Arena here at the Chesapeake Conference Center in Chesapeake, Virginia. 7 days ago, 250 players from all over the globe assembled here to vie for the most prestigious title in our sport. There are 4 players left, 2 on the one-loss side, and the 2 undefeated players that you're about to watch right now. The winner of this match will proceed to the finals at 7 p.m. The loser of this match will play back here at 3 p.m. versus the winner of our other semifinal between Mr. Putnam and Mr. Hatch. We'd like to once again take this opportunity to say thank you to the sponsors that have helped make this event possible. Q-Master Billiards, owned and operated by the Berman family, Shannon and Barry Berman, our founder and promoter. Diamond Billiard Products, Aramuth Belgian Billiard Balls, Simonis Cloth, the Delta 13 Rack, and our newest sponsor, the Pepsi Bottling Company. Thank you all for all of your support. Our first player, originally from the Republic of the Philippines, now living in Las Vegas. He's the 2004 World 9-Ball Champion. He's the 2005 U.S. Open 9-Ball Champion. He's the 2008 Party Poker Masters Champion. So far this year in 2011, among his accomplishments are a victory at the Derby City Bank Pool Classic and the Jay Swanson Memorial Tournament held earlier this year. He's sponsored by Puyat Sports. He's the smallest guy, but he's got the biggest heart. It's the Lion, Alex Pagulayan. His opponent, from Pontefract, Yorkshire in England. This gentleman is the 2008 World 10-Ball Champion. He's the 2009 Party Poker Masters Champion. In 2010, he led Team Europe to a victory in the Mosconi Cup and was voted Mosconi Cup MVP. He's a 2010 Billiards Digest Player of the Year. He is your reigning and defending U.S. Open 9-Ball Champion, sponsored by Predator, Yale Billiards, and csystems.com. It's Dynamite Darren Appleton. Gentlemen, please lag for the break. Just one more reminder, this is a race to 11. You must win by 2 games. The maximum is 13. If it goes 12-12, it will be hill, and 1 game will decide the winner. At this time, we'd like to send it up to the booth to Jim Weish and Jerry Forsyth. Good luck, everybody.
Well, thank
you very much. One more reminder, please. Cell phones off.
Jerry, great to have you in here joining me. I'll be seeing an awful lot of you, I know, in the next month or so when we hit to Vegas for the Mosconi Cup. But this U.S. Open hot seat match presents a real contrast in styles, doesn't it? One very mechanical, as you'd expect from a European player, Darren Appleton, and then you've got all the flair and creativity of Alex Pagulayan.
Well, I was talking to Sam Dieppe in the pregame show, and my belief on the final day is it all comes down to nerves. Both these guys can make the balls disappear, but it's the guy who can hang in there on that tough cut shot.
Darren Appleton has won the lag. It's a race to 11. And again, just to let everybody know, as I'm sure you heard Ken Schumann just explaining it.
Whoa! Cue ball rides the rail but stays on the table.
And leaves Pagulayan a long look at the 1 with the 2 over the bottom corner. So a dry break to open everything from Darren Appleton.
Yeah, we'll take another look. Watch the cue ball here. It's going to come bounce on the rail down at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, amazing how it stayed on the table, but a little added adrenaline. No surprises there from Dynamite Darren Appleton. But the format in this hot seat match, it's a race to 11, but you have to win by 2 clear racks, and they cap it at 12 apiece. So if it does go 12-12, then it's basically hill. They play 1 rack to decide the match. and it'll be exactly the same for the Sean Putnam-Dennis Hatch match that's being played on the outside table, and we will keep you updated on that one as well.
Did Alex snooker himself behind that 5 ball?
Careless. But he may be able to just spin this, Jerry, and
Yeah, but he's got to get all the way back up table for the 3. He made his life very hard.
yeah, he'll need a thin contact here off that bottom cushion spinning this.
He's got to avoid the 6 ball on the way back up.
He's going to make the 2. Caught it too thick. That was a mistake.
Well, it wouldn't have done him much good to make that ball. So, early match jitters coming from the man I did not expect to have jitters.
Again, trying to spin the cue ball. Let's have another look. He just overcooked this one a bit. Caught it a bit too thick off that rail.
Well, he never should have been in that position.
And the applause. Sean Putnam has won the first rack against Dennis Hatch. Using his custom bridge. And that's the X bridge, very common in the UK. Really a snooker bridge, Jerry, to be honest.
Now, this is the shot that I've been waiting for in this rack, because the position on the 4 ball after he plays this 3 is going to determine what he can do with the 5. I'm not certain that the 5 can get past that 9.
He's looking at the 4 right now.
Oh, excuse me. I meant I did mean the 4.
And like you say, Jerry, if the 4 doesn't go past the 9, he's got a couple options here. He can try and drop onto it on the right-hand side of the table, obviously wide open to the left bottom corner, or possible combination onto the 9, or even a billiard onto the 9. Just depends where he gets this cue ball, and how he plays this will tell us the story.
He's going to go for the well, now he's not. Well, maybe he'll go for the billiard. No. No.
Risky.
Yeah.
No matter what. Didn't intend contacting the ball in the middle of the table. So this first rack is obviously, one would expect, the nerves. Both players will have put a little time in on the table prior to kickoff. But it's never the same once the whistle goes.
Well, he's looking at the carom angle. I think he would like for the 4 ball to wind up safe somewhere behind the 5 or 6 if he misses this shot.
You know, the way that Darren played in his match against Johnny Archer and then Sean Putnam prior to this winner's bracket final against Pagulayan, he was rock solid.
Well, he played that both ways, trying to get a safe if he missed. I'm not sure he got there.
Well, our camera's going to swing around and it's going to let us know. I don't think Alex can see this 4 enough to make it, but he can certainly hit it. Trying the billiard. I mean, a little fortunate. He knew he was going to be knocking that 4 towards the corner. So a little lucky not to leave it for Alex.
Alex's problem right now is getting control of the table back. This is going to be a tough shot to gain control from.
Look at the possibility of the kick even off the side cushion to make that 4. He'd be shooting between the 6 and the 5, but that's the path the cue ball would be taken. And can he miss that 9 to get off 2 cushions and back over for the 5?
Tall order.
Well, this first rack very much in doubt, and I can tell you that Sean Putnam Looks like he's in cruise control over there against Dennis Hatch. Looking at the 8, the 9 over the pocket for Mr. Putnam. And it's going to be 2-0 over there.
What a shot from Pagulayan.
Oh, he made the 9. 1-0 here. Surprisingly.
Well, a bit of good fortune for the Lion. Grabs the rack quickly.
We'll definitely have another look at that shot. Alex knew that if he got this off the cushion, that cue ball was going to be tracking over to the 9. He certainly doesn't mind that result. 1-0 in the race to 11.
That's the kind of thing that can make you feel as if the pool gods are on your side.
Never a bad feeling. The 2005 U.S. Open champion, 2004 world champion, racks the balls. The Delta 13 rack has been employed all week here, and much to the players' approval, tournament officials' approval. And rack number 2, the Mez break cue away from the chair.
Wing ball's down. He's going to have, a tough shot on the 1 if he'll be able to see it at all.
Yeah, he really let that cue ball loose there, Jerry. I don't think that was in the game plan with that break. And smiles. When don't you see Alex smiling?
Well, the only even decent push I see is just to keep the cue ball down on this end of the table and push it over to the other side, maybe between the rail and the first diamond. But then there's a safety that can be laid back on top of you. But I don't see a good way to play a safe here. I mean, the only safe you could do would be to kick off the head rail.
He's looking over at the left-hand side, and he knows that if he leaves Darren that, chance for Darren to try and run behind cover with that cue ball. Alex will weigh this one up.
Well, he'd like to have do-overs on that break.
Alex's road to the final not nearly as tough, really, as Darren Appleton's, as he does push into what looks like a kick and
a kick or a jump.
Yeah, Darren doesn't take much time to put the Lion back in here. Alex will be going back, having another look at this. Does he want to kick this off that top cushion, or does he want to try and jump over the 5? He's a very cerebral player. A lot of people don't know that about Alex. Very deep, very intelligent.
Well, he's given himself an angle now where he can go 2 rails and come off the back rail.
And this is a kick with control. He won't be happy about that. He's left Darren a hanger, really. He can roll a 1 down towards the corner, and he knows he's going to get the 4 in the side pocket. Didn't get the desired contact, and it looks like that 2 will pass the 6 into the top right corner, so this is a great chance for Darren Appleton to slide a beat over. Four into the side here. Did not really mind that ball going in because he knew he was going to have position to the 2.
Yeah, this 2 ball should be the toughest shot he faces this rack. And it's not that tough for Darren Appleton.
He really has been solid. I talked about the path to the winner's bracket final for him. He got the bye in the first round, and he beat Hart and then Esposito, Jason Klatt after trailing 7-2 at one point in that match, then Dennis Haar, Johnny Archer after being 5-2 in that one, and then Sean Putnam yesterday Speaking of Sean Putnam, 3-0 over Dennis Hatch. First 3 in a row. Hatch hasn't got out of his chair.
No, Hatch is just resting and watching. But at this level, you know, these guys don't really care that much about a player getting a lead because they can always come up and put a 5 or 6 pack of their own on the bead string. Appleton cruising his way through this rack.
Well, just slightly underhit, but not bad.
Yeah, a little weak, but he can make it work.
A meteoric rise to the top of the pool world, Darren Appleton. He has become a force in the last couple years. Dynamite levels it up with the Lion, 1 apiece. And Alex looks on the 2-rail kick, not to his plan, and that's the reason he's in his chair. And for how long? We'll have to just wait and see on that one.
Yeah, watch watch the wing balls, as we call them. They tend to head toward the corner pockets, and in this case, that would be the 6 ball and the 7 ball. Seven ball went into the corner. Now, does he have a shot on the 1? Yes, indeed, he's going to. And the 2 ball is going to set up nicely for him as well. So the early part of this rack is no challenge. And frankly, Jim, I don't see a lot of headaches out there.
I don't see the late part being a challenge either, Jerry. This is a pretty nice setup. I think a player would take this in the New York minute after a break. And Appleton, you know, if the last couple of matches are any indication, really has been breaking better than Alex. The way that Alex played against Larry Neville in the match preceding this one, I just felt he really had to crank it up a notch because that standard, that speed, wasn't going to beat Darren Appleton. Another thing, Darren and Alex are also real good friends.
Yeah.
You know, they spend a lot of time together. When Darren went to the Philippines and was honing his game, working on his skills, it was Alex Pagulayan that was helping him over there. He was setting him up with matches to, you know, give Darren a chance to learn the way the game was played in the Philippines and harden his game, strengthen him mentally. Mind you, he's always been a solid player from the shoulders up, that's for sure.
Yeah, the very first time I ever met Darren was at least 10 years ago when he brought a team over from England to play in the BCA National Championships. They won, and some of the other members of that team were Chris Melling, Carl Boyes. It was one heck of a team.
Well, there are no obstacles in the 3rd rack. And Darren knows if he doesn't get out here, he'll have no one to blame but himself. Darren was also saying that he's going to be going, he's making Philadelphia, calling Philadelphia his home now when he's in the USA. And he's going to be building a home there. Alex says, so I've got somewhere to stay in Philadelphia? Darren says, always.
That may depend on how this match goes.
I didn't say it'd be a comfortable stay.
Well, as expected, Appleton making easy work of this rack.
But again, that's been one of his trademarks in this tournament. The defending champion, when he's had a chance, he just doesn't put a foot wrong. A break and run out, the first of this winner's bracket final, courtesy Darren Appleton, and stakes him to a 2-1 advantage. And he puts the Delta 13 rack down, and again, Alex, the 2-rail kick in rack number 2 has cost him 2 racks and counting. And he knows how strong a player Darren Appleton is. The defending champion looking to do what only 2 players before him have ever done. Nick Varner, back in 1989, 1990, won back-to-back U.S. Open titles. Mika Immonen, 2008, 2009, back-to-back U.S. Open titles.
It's hard to make that history repeat. Well, he's got a ball down. Does the 2 pass the 3? Well, from where the 1 ball is, he could play short side shape if he needs to, or he could play a real lock-up safety by driving the 2 to the rail and putting the cue ball on one side of the 3 ball and the 2 on the other side of the 3 ball. But first he's got to get past the 1. So.
And either way, Jerry, he'll try and get the cue ball closer to the 2 to give him a few more options. And he's looking at it right now. And confirmation, Dennis Hatch has still not gotten out of his chair. 4-0 in the B-side semifinal, the losers bracket semi. Putnam beat Huji C. Just prior to that match, Huji C, the reigning world 10-ball champion from the Netherlands. And Dennis Hatch took care of Warren Kiamko leading up to that match. And Kiamko was the guy that knocked Dennis into the losers bracket 11-10 midweek. So revenge was sweet on that occasion for the Hatchet Man.
You just saw Darren looking at the angle that the cue ball will be taking off of the second rail. You would like to lengthen that angle as much as possible.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to wedge him in behind that 3 now. And he'd like to be able to take the long cushion away. If he'd have been a little shorter, he would have had the billiard here. I'm not sure he still doesn't, to be honest. But
yeah, but why would you want it? I mean, the 2 ball's not going to go past the 4, although it may glance off the 4 into the side. That's why he's playing the billiard. No, he's got to be playing the safe.
It'd be a very thin hit on the 2, Jerry, and the long pocket taken away. But he is playing the billiard. He played it with a bit more force. You know something, Jerry? I don't like to question champions, but I think Darren made the wrong choice there.
Well, he wants to be aggressive, but, man, you've got to pick your opportunities.
Oh, there were no guarantees for position, though, and I'll tell you what, the snooker that he could have laid on Alex would have been a very difficult proposition.
Yeah, anytime you can frustrate your opponent, it's not a bad thing to do.
Well, I have to tell you that might be a measure of respect. He just doesn't want to bring Alex out of his chair at all.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe respect for Alex's kicking game?
Well, he's bringing him out now, and this is not a tough ball to hit. It's a tough ball to do anything with, but it's not tough to hit.
Does need to kick this.
Only Alex would look at the side of that 2 ball to determine the angle he needs for the cue ball to carry him into the 9 and make it.
Yeah, but he does want to put distance, Jerry. He wants to hit the bottom half of the 2 as we look.
Absolutely.
Knock it up table, and with a little bit of luck, maybe even find cover.
Yeah, if he can put the 2 ball behind the 6, he'll be a happy pool player.
This is what you call a precise kick. Well, he came to have a look to see if he could get that cue ball behind the 8. Pretty good shot, and he hasn't left Darren Appleton a chance at the 2.
Yeah, there's no pocket for the 2, unless Darren wanted to take on a one-pocket shot, which I would doubt he would want to do. If he can get to the left side of the 2, however, he can knock it up table and leave the cue ball behind that 6-7 blocking setup.
Yeah, playing that shot, he knows he's going to be banking that 2 in the vicinity of the 4. And always a chance of making the 2 off the 4 in the side pocket. What's if he does elect to hit the left-hand side of the 2? Tell you what, that was a good kick from Alex. I think he'll take that. This is not an easy safety. Yeah, he was going after the 2 into the side pocket.
Well,
and he got lucky.
He got very fortunate.
Yeah, he's shaking his head. He might think that Alex can jump this, but Alex is not the best with the jump cue.
He's going to masse.
No, he just was lining that up. He's going back for his jump cue. But when you're 5 feet, you know, being able to elevate comfortably. Mind you, he played a jump shot against Larry Neville. It was tremendous, but he used his break cue. Well, here he's going for the jump cue again, supplied by his cue sponsor, Mez.
Well, he's got a comfortable distance between the cue ball and the blocking 7, so I expect him to clear it. And he doesn't have to clear the whole ball, which is a big help.
You know, Mez cues out of Japan, also looking after players like Mika Immonen, Jason Klatt from Canada.
Left himself a long shot.
Well, but a chance. And this one should almost certainly carry the rack if he gets it, or he'll lose the rack if he doesn't.
Yeah, this will seal the deal or break the bank. I'll watch his back arm, see if there's any shake. I don't see any.
No, neither did Darren Appleton. What a stroke that was.
Boy, those long clutch shots.
Yeah, and players like Alex have become renowned for being very good under the heat. You know, he's played a lot of challenge matches against the best players on the planet, and he fears nobody, Jerry. We've known Alex for a long time.
Yeah.
There's nobody he won't match up against. And that in itself is well known by the players and can be intimidating. Mind you, I think he's hooked an opponent here that we can say the very same against.
Yes, but it's true. You do not wish to issue a challenge to Mr. Pagulayan unless you're willing to follow through on it.
A little behind your back action.
And this to tie us at 2. Job done. We are tied at 2 apiece. Alex Pagulayan will be breaking off in this rack.
Well, we expected this to be close, and it's living up to advanced billing. I know that if I was putting up a price on this match, I wouldn't be able to find the difference between these two. I think Darren Appleton has been marginally better, if for no other reason than the break. A little bit more solid, but everybody, every player, every fan knows full well what the Lion is capable of. And he's having a little fun with Ken Schumann and going for a little powder.
Well, that's Alex. To me, that's one of Alex's greatest strengths. Is he's so relaxed out there. He's having a good time. But all of that is to no avail unless he can get his break shot working for him.
Rack number 5. Pagulayan looking to take it apart.
8 ball this time, but he scratched on the break. He's going to give ball in hand to Darren Appleton. He made 3 balls on the break, so Appleton's playing 6 ball.
Yeah, this is a recipe for disaster. You have to keep that cue ball on the table. Both players using the cut break, but like you said, Jerry, making 3 balls off the break and scratching. You might as well tie a ribbon on the gift. That is a showstopper.
Well, you have to wonder if the heart of a lion can keep beating strong when things like this are happening.
Alex went back to Toronto. He's been spending a lot of time. I was in Henderson, Nevada for about 14 months up until mid-August. I've just moved back to Toronto, but Alex, off and on for about 6 months, was living with me. And he started playing an awful lot of snooker there. Went back to Canada, won the Canadian Snooker Championships just this past summer, and now is looking to represent Canada in the IBSF World Snooker Championships in Bangalore, India. He loves a challenge, Alex.
You put a cue in his hand, there's not much he can do, but the break shot really seems to be working against him here on this match.
And the break is huge in 9 ball. Appleton can attest. 3-2 is lead.
And just to keep you posted, there's a safety war going on between Putnam and Hatch, and that scoreline is still 4-0 Putnam.
Well, if nothing else, Dennis has had a chance to get out of his chair.
Yeah, to kick.
Darren Hatch has virtually solidified his selection onto the Mosconi Cup with this performance this year. Sean Putnam looking to do the very same against Dennis Hatch. That match has serious Mosconi Cup ramifications. 3-2 Appleton.
No wing ball. This is dry.
And that one looks like it's available, and I think the reaction from Darren Appleton confirms that. Well, the break hasn't been kind yet to either player. That's Appleton's second dry break. Darren's one-loss record in terms of games leading up to this final. He had won 66 and lost 40. And by contrast, Alex, who had probably one of the best winning percentages in those terms of any of the players still left in this tournament, won 77 games and lost only 27.
Wow.
Moving into this final. That's a huge winning percentage. And again, the reason Alex had to play 11 more games is because Darren had that bye in the opening round. And the one did pass. And now he's left himself an open look at the 2. Not easy to get back over the other side as he smiles. And without a doubt, one of the most likable players in the game of pool, easily one of the most charismatic. I don't think there's anywhere Alex can go in this world where he doesn't have friends and isn't adored. I know he's made a lot of friends out of my family, Jerry, and you know my family real well.
Yeah.
How quick would my youngest daughter have taken to Alex?
Well, he has as much fun as a teenager, so.
Oh, great shot.
Really an energetic young man.
Just an impossible guy not to like. And that was a great shot on the 2. A difficult, awkward shot made to look very easy. You know, when I spoke to my family this morning, My daughter grabbed the phone. First thing she asked is how Alex was doing.
Yeah, he certainly one of the most popular players in the world. I would say most popular, but Efren's pretty well loved as well.
Yeah, I think Jay Helfert, there's a little bit of amusement on the table beside us. Jay Helfert is telling one of the guys who I think is videoing that match that the red light is distracting Sean Putnam, who's at the table right now. And choice here for Alex. He's got the 4 into either the side or the corner, and I think this is going to be the corner. It offers better positional value. 5 in the middle of the table-ish.
Yeah, the only real challenge I see now for Alex is to make sure the 7 ball doesn't get in his life when he's trying to get to the 6. And with that angle, that won't be a problem.
Yeah, thumps that in with authority. Took the 7 out of the equation there, Jerry, but that was the danger ball. You're right. You underhit that one, as can happen when the nerves decide to grip that back arm.
Well, that should be all she wrote for this rack.
You know, it seems like every match that Darren Appleton has played, at some point in it, he's trailed. I mentioned trailing Jason Klatt 7-2 and Archer 5-2. And the Jason Klatt match, he was 10-6 down at one point, won the last 5 to escape, literally.
Well, you know, Darren's a bulldog. He just doesn't give up.
And Archer, he beat 11-9 when he was trailing 5-2. And Johnny Archer was playing as good a pool as I've seen in a long time. Looked very focused as Pagulayan parks the 9.
We are tied up at 3 now.
Darren's made 2 dry breaks in this match, and both of them have cost him the rack. And the first 6 have been split. 1 has to be racked at the top, obviously, 2 at the back. And with the break and the winner racking his own, that means that if that 9 is made in either of the 2 bottom corner pockets, it is respotted. If it's made in any of the other 4, it counts as a rack win. That new rule instituted and told all the players at the players' meeting. Well, he's got to try and sort out the break, Alex does. Darren looking very comfortable with the coffee. This is all about composure and concentration, finding that happy medium, high level of focus required to compete at this level.
Watch out. That's unbelievable. 2 scratches in a row on the break. That one, the cue ball was kicked in by the 1 ball.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do with something like that happens. Alex knows it. That's just bad luck. One more look. He got the wing ball, the 8 into the corner. That was planned. And he kept the 1 in the middle of the table until it was kicked by the 4 and then knocked the cue ball into the corner pocket. Cruel, but welcome to the game of pool. And look at the lay of the land, Jerry.
Yeah. He makes a great break if he can just keep Whitey on the table. He's just gift wrapping these racks for Appleton. Appleton more than happy to take advantage. But thus far, the break has been a real disadvantage for whoever's breaking. I'd rather be sitting in the chair watching the other guy tear the rack apart.
And Sean Putnam is back at the table against Dennis Hatch.
And it's still 4-0.
And everything's in the open, Jerry. That match is going to be 5-0 shortly.
Yeah. 20-minute rack. Wow. Okay, keep the 7-ball from interfering with your next shot. And don't be queuing over the 9. Oh.
Even though he should be okay because he's just got to make the shot. Shape on the 5 is automatic. Watch that 9-ball.
That applause confirms Sean Putnam did get out. 5-0 in the race to 11. This is not the way Dennis Hatch wanted to start that match out. Talk about getting up on the wrong side of the bed on finals day at the U.S. Open. And again, as you would have expected, Appleton marching through the balls, never looking in trouble. Controls Whitey on a string. The easy 9, Appleton back in front, courtesy of the scratch from Pagulayan, 4-3. As you said, Jerry, the break has not been an ally
For either player. I'm going to be real curious to see if Darren changes anything up here.
The 36th annual U.S. Open 9-ball championships have been brought to you by Q-Master Billiards of Virginia Beach. 73 tables. That room is the largest billiard establishment in the country. Barry Berman, his daughter Shannon Berman Pascal own and operate that club. Great food, great playing conditions. Unbelievable. Straight into the side pocket. The storyline continues.
Take another look. I mean, the break shot has really turned into the devil here on this table. It seems impossible to keep the white ball on the surface. But Darren can't be too frustrated. He's had that gift handed to him twice.
Darren has broken 5 times now in this match, Jerry. He's got 2 dry breaks and a scratch. Well, Alex won't mind being straight here. He'll have to draw this back, play the 3 into the side pocket.
As long as he has a successful draw shot here, his big problems will be over. And that's what I call successful.
I'll tell you what, Sean Putnam is really doing a number on Dennis Hatch. He broke, and he's going to run out this rack. He's on the 7, everything in the open. Don't know what Sean had for breakfast, but Alex and Darren would like to get a little.
Yeah. Sean's been playing some of the best pool I've ever seen him play this week. He just doesn't seem to miss. I really thought that Hatch would be able to intimidate him with aggression, but when you can't get to the table, that doesn't work.
Six nothing. And Alex, a la Darren Appleton, following the scratch, never looking in trouble. Alex, a very good player with a rake. You know, that coming from the snooker that he's been playing. And again, you watch the way he cues up and aims compared to the way a lot of the Americans and a lot of the Asian players aim and cue up with the rake. Alex could give them all a lesson.
This 9-ball to tie us at 4. And indeed we are.
Yeah.
Tied up once again.
The sad news is now he has to break.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's going to get his other Mez cue out and break with it instead.
Well, you got to change something.
Yeah, well, I know that Mez has supplied him with quite an armory there, and Mez cues out of Japan as Alex puts it together. He's going to try this. Why not try and change things up a little bit? Alex has broken 3 times in this match. He's got 2 scratches out of those 3 times to account for it. So I guess in this case, Jerry, if it is broke, fix it.
Well, he needs to put one of those other cues up. You're only allowed to bring 3 cues to the table, and he's got 4 out now.
Well, I guarantee Alex doesn't know that. And would that be deemed a foul, or like what are the repercussions from that?
Up to the referee. It you know, it's an equipment foul. I think you probably give him a warning first and tell him to put the cue up.
A legal break.
But
Mark
then-
it down.
Yeah, for once, but no good shot on one. But then Earl Strickland played with an illegal cue all week. The maximum weight on a cue is 25 ounces, and he's been playing with that 28-ounce monster.
Yeah, that thing, it's taller than he is.
Yeah.
Six in the 8, made off the break. Alex has got a bank on the 1 here and should come with position to the 2 if he gets it. He got it.
Watching the cue ball. He's okay.
Alex has only been in front at the very start of this match. He won the opening rack. He's got a chance here. He can knock these balls in, get himself 5-4 in front.
As close as this match is, that win by 2 rule could come into play.
He needs a little angle on this 3. And it looks like he's got enough. He's got to get back over the other side of the table for the 4.
Boy.
He'd like to have a little bit more, Jerry. He's going to have to thump this.
Yeah, I mean, it does always surprise me, and frankly, I admire the way they do it. These guys don't have to hit this ball as hard as I do to get the cue ball back over to the table because they've got such a pure stroke, but he is going to have to hit this more firmly than he would normally want to do.
And obviously, anytime you've got to play a shot with more speed, the pockets are a little tighter.
Yes, they shrink right up. Ha!
Unless you hit them like that.
Pure.
Yeah, just a smattering of applause. Nice to see Alex's relatives in attendance.
Yeah.
But that was a good shot. Fully deserving.
Surely he's not going to play the combination.
No, he's got the angle here. He can get that cue ball.
I know, but
back out.
I swear, he just measured the combo. Maybe just to throw a little lightning bolt into Appleton's chair. Yeah.
No, he was perfect on the 4. I know Dennis Hatch has got out of his chair in that match. I just haven't seen it.
Pagulayan now to take a 1-game lead. Leads our race to 11, 5-4.
And Alex's first break and run out of the match.
And how odd it is to be saying that after 9 racks.
With players of this caliber.
Yeah.
Darren has had one. The rack that put him 2-1 in front. Both players fully capable of stringing 4 or 5 together and really putting the opponent under pressure. And that look we've seen before from Darren Appleton. With every ball Alex makes, he'll become a little bit more intense. And there is no give up in that man. But what a bid from Darren Appleton to win back-to-back U.S. Opens.
Do remember that no man is eliminated from the tournament as a result of this match because both of these players are undefeated. The loser here goes on to play the winner of the match on the other table between Dennis Hatch and Sean Putnam. But you'd certainly rather take a break than have to play another match.
Yeah, made the wing ball there again, Jerry. He's starting to enjoy some success, and if either one of these players find that sweet spot, they can run away and hide. 3 off the break that time for Alex.
I don't believe Alex has remembered to move his scoring bead. I watched 2 players yesterday forget to move their scoring bead, and one of them lost the match as a result when he should have won it. He actually won the match 11-8, wound up losing it 11-10 because he forgot to move a bead.
And it is on the player. It's the player's onus to remember to move that bead.
Well, this match does have a referee, so the referee can intervene and move the bead, but did the referee notice? I mean, you just expect a player to move the bead.
Well, I can see Ken Schumann in attendance. And he's just stepped into the arena. And I guarantee you, Jerry, you and I aren't the only ones that have recognized this little mistake from Pagulayan, if you want to call it a mistake. Just forgetful. And Ken has moved over to Alex's chair, so I've got a feeling he's going to let him know.
Yeah.
There is no set rule in place. I mean, it's like an unwritten rule that if you don't move that bead over, I mean, the players or the fans in attendance don't get involved in something like that. But I know at a lot of tournaments, Jerry, if you don't move that bead over, you don't get it.
Right.
But again, how many matches are you playing in the club that have a referee?
Yeah. Spinning the cue ball off the second rail to get great shape on the 1. On the 9, he's a little further away from this ball than he would care to be, but I doubt this will be much of an obstacle to Alex. And this for a 2-rack lead.
Down it goes with authority.
6-4.
The Lions starting to roar here. Another break and run out. And Ken Schumann has just let him know. And there you see slides 2 over. Darren Appleton pointing to it as well. And I guarantee you, see, Darren and Alex are good pals. And Darren is a real sportsman anyway. He wants to win, and he wants to win properly. He probably wouldn't accept it if it was offered. 6-4, Alex.
I told you only when he shoots.
Well, as is normal, people in the Pagulayan pit are having a little fun.
A superstar.
You and I were there in Kaohsiung when he won the World Championship, and he got up on the rails and started dancing a jig after he won. I mean, what a personality this guy is. Dennis Hatch has just won his first match, now trails 7-1 over there, so he's got his work cut out.
Brought the roof down, and Alex with a dry break. And so the 3-rack Pagulayan surge establishes a 6-4 lead, but Darren Appleton with a pretty good look at the one here. He was wondering what Ken Schumann was coming over and looking at. I noticed a smile from Hatch, too, when he finally secured his first rack.
What has my curiosity here is whether the 3 passes the 6 ball into the corner. If it does, this isn't that much of a hill to climb.
No, I think it does, Jerry. Darren's looking at it right now. I'm pretty sure it does. And he's got a perfect angle on this one. Just draw up towards the middle of the table for the 2.
You overrun that. He's tapping his chalk on the table, trying to get the cue ball to slow down. Takes another look at the 3, but not too long, so it must pass.
Yeah, this is straightforward. Well, I say straightforward. Straightforward for Darren Appleton, the way that he's been playing. Yeah, it's gotten real quiet out there. Wow. Sean Putnam just missed a relatively easy one. And I don't know whether he's left Hatch a shot or not, but Dennis is going to need a few more mistakes from Putnam to get back into that match. 6-1 currently to Putnam.
That also a race to 11. I'm curious why Darren doesn't want to draw back here. He just took a look at letting the cue ball roll forward.
He's going to have to travel a little with the cue ball, just off the top cushion. He's got to come back down.
He's got to get back past the side pocket.
Yeah, that 5 available to the side pocket.
Oh, he's going to take the 4 into the corner.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what. He thought he missed that. I thought he missed it.
He said he steered it with his cue. Wow.
Well, had that stayed on the table, that might have really turned this match in Pagulayan's favor.
That'll get your adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, those are the type of shots when they finally go in, you can offer a little smile. But if they stay on the table, there's no smiles as you go back to your chair.
Yeah, I was getting ready to start counting. If it stays up 5 seconds and then falls, the referee has to replace it. This 9-ball for Darren Appleton to draw within 1 and break.
And 9 goes down. Appleton has secured the break in the next. The dry break from Pagulayan.
Let's take another look at the shot that almost wasn't. Boy, how did that fall? How on earth did that fall?
That looked like it never even hit the jaws.
I know.
It went in.
Usually when you hit the point of a diamond table, you're going to go sit down. And our players have returned to the arena.
And Stan Shuffett, Pro 1, justcueit.com. A new aiming system, an instructional DVD. And Stan Shuffett had a great run in this year's tournament, didn't he?
He really did. We were very impressed with what Stan did this week.
Stan's son, Landon, a terrific young player.
And Landon could not be here this week because of his schooling.
Alex and Darren Appleton having a little banter, talking to the fans too. If there's any pressure out there, neither of these two players are showing it. You know, before they started this match out, Jerry, the way these two are, you'd swear they were heading to the first tee.
I know it, and I've never seen Alex display any signs of pressure.
I think that's one of the characteristics that makes Alex and, in fact, Darren Appleton champions on and off the table. Never any pressure from within. Rack number 12.
Darren to snap him.
6-5 in favor of Pagulayan.
I'll watch the cue ball. It's going to stay up. And he's got a shot on the 1. This is looking good.
Successful break, the 3 and 7 made.
Yeah, he'll come off 2 rails now, spin around to the right, come back out for the 2 ball. He just has to make sure he doesn't overrun this and wind up with the cue ball behind the 5 or the 4, either one. Ooh, that came off hot.
Tell you what, Jerry, you called that, and that was a mishit. And he's shaking his head. He's lucky the cue ball went into the 4, because the speed he had played that, if it didn't hit the 4, he was going to be snookered.
But now it's just a drill like you might play at home, position drill. Nothing too tough here. Even if he has to settle for a longer shot on the 6, he's okay. And he doesn't really have to settle for that. He can go right up table and come back down to the middle of the table. Have an easy shot on that 6 ball. Oh, he just drew it across. Yeah, why not?
He's swinging past the 9. The break really laying the foundation for this rack. Well, he's just slightly overhit that, but being right-handed, he'll reach this comfortably. And nothing between these two. 6-6. A break and run out. The second of the match for Darren Appleton. And he'll put the Delta 13 rack to the balls. The race to 11, remember, you've got to win by 2 clear racks, and it is capped at 12-12. If both players go hand in hand to 12-12, then it is 1 rack to decide who will go to the final and await the B-side final. Remembers to slide that bead over. Rack number 13.
One wing ball is down. The cue ball is going to stay on the table. And boy, can he see that one ball? I think he can see the edge of it, but he can't do anything with it.
Yeah, but at least both players keeping that cue ball on the table now. That was something that they had to work out. Both of them changing their break tactics. I wonder if there's an outside chance at a bank here, Jerry, into the bottom right corner.
You know, I kind of like it because it's a nice two-way shot. If he plays at the right speed and the one ball winds up down around the corner, the cue ball is going to be behind those blockers. I kind of like it.
And I'll tell you something. If this was Pagulayan playing this shot,
Be no doubt.
he might have already played it.
Yeah, be no doubt.
Like you say, the speed that he plays it, he'd have to feel like he'd get away with, even if he did miss it. Bottom right.
He's coming back up table. Oh, and he did miss it, but I believe he got safe. Nope, he's shaking his head. He doesn't like it. Can Alex see enough of that one to pocket it?
That was worth the risk because he knew it came with position to the 2. Darren having, I'll tell you what, I think he's having a tea actually, but I couldn't have tea or coffee during a match. I just don't want that shot of caffeine. And Darren is a tea drinker coming from England. Yeah, we still haven't had a clear look to see if that one is on for Alex. Even if it is, position's tricky.
You don't usually see Pagulayan think this long. He's a very instinctive player. He sees patterns just automatically. Looks like he's kicking. Nope. Makes it.
Yeah, position was always going to be one of the most difficult aspects of that shot. I mean, it was a good shot on the 1. He maintains control of the table. Here, the side bank isn't available because the 8's in the way. So I think this is just Alex running for cover here. I think he may be trying this in the... Oh, it did go past the 8.
You're kidding me. What a shot.
It looked like the 8 was in the way. But obviously, from our camera angle, it can be a little deceptive. What a great shot. And now he's got the rack by the throat. He was queuing up to that, Jerry. I just had a feeling he was going for it, and I didn't look like it banked past the 8 into the side.
Yeah, I agreed with you. I never saw that shot coming. Well, let's take another look. That was such a great shot.
Just goes by the 8.
The thing that impressed me on that shot was the shape. Oh, no. And how many times do you see a great player make a very difficult shot and then miss the next one? And he is slouching back to his chair. While Appleton has, what a pleasant surprise for Mr. Appleton. He never expected to get to the table after that bank.
No, you can't. Mistakes like that, unforced errors like that, you do pay the price.
Now the question is, how many racks will that cost Pagulayan?
Even psychologically, that's a tough one to fade. He had done all the work and got himself into a winning position.
Yeah. Well, here's a bit of length. The only traffic he has to worry about here is the 9-ball, but a little spin will easily clear that 9-ball if he goes the 2-rail out route.
9-1. Sean Putnam over Dennis Hatch.
2 rails and out it was, but he's a bit on the 50-yard line. Still no problem. He'll put this 7-ball in the side pocket and go 3 rails and out for the 8.
You know, I'm looking down at Dennis Hatch.
Uh-huh.
He's been sat in his chair, obviously, for the bulk of the match, but he's been texting.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to do?
You don't want to watch what your opponent's
Yeah,
doing.
you don't want to watch that table, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's just been on his phone texting.
There's the 3rd rail. Bump. Now, will he slow roll it or go down table and back? The slow roll. Well, it's been nip and tuck the entire match. We've never had more than a 2-game spread between these two. And that just provides Mr. Appleton with a 1-point margin. He now leads 7-6.
Yeah, Alex put 3 racks together on him to go 6-4 in front, and Appleton has just replied with an instant replay in reverse. And 7-6 his lead. And a chance to establish the comfort zone if he can get a good break here. Get further in front. It's the 14th rack. And from Pontefract in Yorkshire, Darren Appleton. And that's Yorkshire, England. Not too far from Wakefield, Jerry.
And what's Wakefield not too far from, Jim?
Not too far from Sheffield.
Oh, great.
I just thought I'd throw a few of those out there, knowing that you're the world traveler.
Yeah, a world traveler. I go from airport to hotel to airport. I see nothing in these foreign countries.
Well, Alex just spilt a drink on his chair, and Darren offers him his U.S. Open jacket.
You know, you can tell, one of the ways that you can tell that Appleton used to be a snooker player, and I don't know why snooker players do this, but you used to be one, so maybe you can tell me. When he walks around the table, he drags the butt of the cue on the floor, and you see a lot of snooker players do that.
That one I can answer. I thought you were going to give me something simple, like, you know, they have a squared stance, or, you know, they put their chin right down on the cue. No, now you got to ask me about dragging the cue butt. Well, the only reason I can think of is because we don't have rubber bumpers on our snooker cues.
And that would make a reason because. Okay.
Less drag.
Yeah.
The rubber doesn't grip.
Let's see. Well, at 9-1, I can tell you that Sean Putnam has just scratched. So all Dennis has to do is come up and lay a 9-pack on him.
Had to get to the hill.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Whoa.
Wow, mark that one down.
That did not look like his normal stroke. He short stroked it and jumped up.
Two uncharacteristic first day with the new lips.
You can say it. Go ahead.
Two uncharacteristic misses, one from Pagulayan in the last rack and one from Appleton in this one.
Yeah, but Pagulayan didn't get the gift out of his miss that Darren did. This isn't that great a shot. Let's take another look here. Let's take another look at this.
Wide open.
Oh.
Came with shape to the 3.
Well, Pagulayan now has to study this one. This is a shot that will definitely make or break this rack.
I wonder if Alex is looking at the billiard to the 5 from the 2, about a half ball.
One thing I don't like about that, Jim, is you have to plot the path of the 2 ball so precisely.
I think that's what he's looking at. Watch for the 5.
I think he's looking to duck. But we'll see.
He knows he'd be playing it with enough speed that the 2 would be coming back down this way.
Yeah. Is he playing a 2-way, a bank on the 2, a carom? Nope, he's just ducking. And he did not duck well. I don't think Mr. Pagulayan's going to like what he faces next, because there's a lot Darren can do here. Got a lot of places to hide.
But you know, that's about the first ball that we've seen missed from Darren Appleton in recent memory. Guy's been a machine. And he's still 7-6 in front in this match. And he's got the controls in his hand right here. If he lays a good snooker on Alex, he'll still have the initiative in this rack. Looking at the balls, 4 is a little difficult. From the 3 to the 4 isn't going to be easy. Well, that was a nice little flick on the 7.
A very friendly rub.
He's getting the rub of the green, isn't he? He got away with that miss on the 2, and now a little touch on the 7 to completely snooker Alex. And where that 9 is, the 2 cushion escape from the left-hand side of the table may not be available.
He's not there. He's gone for the short stick. We'll be airborne here in a moment.
Well, this is a big moment in this match.
Huge. What will Appleton come to the table to face?
Well, if Darren wants to attack here, he's going to have to play this up to the corner pocket. Trying to smash this into the side, just too acute an angle. At the speed, he'd have to play it. Well, possibility of a bank into the side pocket as well. But position to the 3 doesn't travel with that shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of sellout in this shot.
Yeah, this one takes a little thought. You want to risk the game on trying to make this 2 into the top corner pocket? Darren isn't the sort of guy that throws caution to the wind either. No, he's very thoughtful when he approaches a shot, very committed.
Yeah. Well schooled in the percentages of pool.
You know what the key is, I think, if anybody asked me about Darren, Jerry, he doesn't beat himself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you've got to beat him as his opponent. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes and kill himself.
Yeah, he wants to go for this, but he just can't quite build up to it because he knows it might be all or nothing on this 2. And the only shot is that top corner pocket.
Boy, that is a real sellout if you miss that shot.
But again, the angle will bring the cue ball over to the 3, so comes with its share of rewards if he gets it. You can hear a pin drop out there. Yeah, he wants to go for this. He's now taking his second look. 2 ball, top corner pocket.
This is a tough out. Getting from the 2 to the 3 is tough. Getting from the 3 to the 4 is not easy.
He's overcut it.
He sure has. That's going to bring Pagulayan back to the table, and that's the gift that Pagulayan has been hunting.
See, the safety was difficult with that shot, too. When I was talking with Danny DiLiberto doing a match yesterday, Jerry, and you know something, if the safety is no more difficult than going for the aggressive path, you might as well go down firing.
Absolutely.
You always got a chance to get lucky.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines came from Nick Varner. He said, "I never ducked my way into a championship. At some point, you've got to gut it up and shoot." Still tough getting to the 3. Wow. Look at the gee whiz he put on that ball. But now his angle is bad to get on the 4.
Yeah, to get to the right side of the 4. He can get on the 4, but he'll only leave himself a 4-5 combination. And that 5 is far enough off that cushion near the bottom right corner. Doesn't make that combination easy.
He may have to settle for, well, I don't know. I was going to say he might have to settle for a carom, but that's certainly not automatic either.
Yeah, he just needed this to be a little straighter.
Tough table layout. This is probably the toughest table we've seen in this match.
He was queuing up to that. You know what he was contemplating here? Slamming this in with top left-hand spin, missing the 7 and bringing the cue ball off 3 cushions back down on the right-hand side of the 4. If he played that shot and made it, I'd want Pat Fleming to mark that one down forever.
Yeah. Yep. That's asking the cue ball to do too much work.
It's the sort of shot you play in exhibitions.
Yeah.
In the U.S. Open 9-ball championship, they'd be talking about this shot for years to come.
By golly, Jim, he's queuing it up there.
That's the second time he's pulled it back. It's the only way he could get the cue ball to the right side of the 4. Now he's going to play it in the corner, I think, Jerry.
I don't know. I kind of like the one pocket bank shot into the side pocket. That brings his cue ball back down on the right side of the table.
Yeah, how skinny does he have to hit this 3 to do that, though?
Pretty skinny. Now he's, golly, this is tough.
Okay, now
got to be the
his path to the finish line in this rack has just become very clear. He has to try and attack that 5. How? Another story.
Is he going to play the 4 into the 5, into the 6, and then the 5 goes in off the 6? I just don't know. Wow.
I told you only when he shoots.
Did you hear, Alex? Somebody moved in his line of sight, and only Alex could find humor in that.
Yeah.
I don't think another player in the world would be able to make fun. And what he said to the gentleman was, he said, "I told you, only when he shoots."
Yeah, don't move when I'm shooting. Move when he's shooting.
Tremendous stuff, Alex. And again, how can you not endear yourself to him? But another look at this. 4 off the cushion to plant that 5. Terrific. Tremendous accuracy. He's got to come with another good shot again.
One more good shot, and this rack is his. But
and this
boy,
one no easier.
Boy. He's already played 2 tough shots in a row. It would almost be easier to drag the cue ball back into the 6 and play the carom, you know.
For me, this is what makes pool so psychologically difficult. I mean, he's made 3 great shots to get to this point. He's not out of the weeds yet. And if he loses this rack after the shots he's made, that's just a real tough pill to swallow. He missed it.
He sure did. Or is it a time shot? Nope, he's missed it and left Appleton again with an easy table. I think that Alex needs to pick which team he wants to play for. He seems to be playing for both of them.
That tough pill I was talking about? He's just put it in his mouth and he's got a glass of water beside him. 3 great shots he made, got himself into position, but he needed one more good one, and he just went to the well once too often. And so Dynamite with a chance to get 2 in front. Never been 2 in front in this match. Trailed 2-1 at one stage, 3-2 at another.
Watch outside pocket.
This is a chance to have put 4 in a row. And remember, it was the miss on the 2 in this rack. Seems like a week ago he missed that 2. Oh, great shot. Fundamentally sound. And Appleton is going to win his 4th rack in a row and stake himself to a 2-rack advantage. 8-6 now over the Lion.
I can tell you that Sean Putnam is on the hill in the other match between Putnam and Hatch. He leads 10-2, and he is at the table shooting the 5 ball. He's made the 5. He's only 4 balls away. And Dennis Hatch has just conceded the match with 4 balls left on the table.
Yeah, and the 2 guys hug. The 2 big men embrace in a show of sportsmanship. Terrific stuff. Dennis Hatch, a great tournament. Finishes 4th in the U.S. Open as Pagulayan keeps his focus on the main table. But Sean Putnam goes through, and he will play the loser of this match.
They'll be teammates soon on the Mosconi Cup, these 2. We're going to have a pretty strong team come from America. You hear that, Darren?
Appleton with the critical shot, the break, and I do believe he's come up dry. However, he's not going to be too worried because of where the 2 ball wound up. Pagulayan has a fairly direct shot on the 1, but the 2 ball is deep in the woods.
That was Darren's 3rd dry break of the match. Alex has the angle here to get back over the right-hand side of the table.
Yeah, I think he was thinking more about his position than the shot, and he has, again, left an opportunity for Darren.
Look at his position to the 2, but again, he hit the 1 so thick. Cue ball wouldn't have been there had he made the 1. But Appleton, you just can't see him trying to do anything special here. He'll try and get this 1 and leave himself in a position to play a good attacking safety. Unless, Jerry, do you think he's got...
I like the carom.
You think he's got the nerve to try and knock this in and draw back into the 9?
No.
You sure?
Well, can never be too sure about what these guys are going to do. Look at this. He sure did. I would never have expected him to try that. That was fraught with peril. If he'd come out on the top side of that 9 ball, he would be shaking his head now. And he still has created quite a problem for himself, because how do you clear this up? Take another look. Would you do this?
Only a very confident player can play a shot like that. But again, as Jerry noted, he's knocked the 9 into a safe position now, so he hasn't really accomplished anything. He's still at the table.
You know, these cue balls have been skidding this week. If he'd gotten a skid on that shot, he would have been in real trouble.
He tried to flick that 8 out and get it into the open.
Well, he'll have another chance
when he plays the 5 ball.
And he can't wait too long. He's going to have to leave himself the angle on the 5 to try and open the 8, 9 up, and in so doing, land on the 6. And right now, Darren's thinking 3 shots ahead.
Doesn't have an entire pocket with which to work here. Still, it's enough.
So here's the important shot, Jerry. Right where he wants that cue. Leave that angle to be able to take the cue ball into the 9, open the 8 up, and drop onto the 6. That'll be the shot that determines the winner and loser in this rack.
Yeah, the tough thing here is he's sort of moving across the line of position when he comes off that 4. So he's got to be very careful with his speed control. I think he got there, Jimmy.
No, he's perfect. He's perfect. He can play this with full ball, roll straight through. Well, you know what? I'm not so sure. He's getting down to shoot it. I think he might just be about 6 inches away from being perfect, Jerry. I think straight follow on this. He might just go a little wide.
Yeah, but
never easy to tell from our camera angle.
Put a little left on that cue ball. Cheat the pocket. I'm asking it to do too much work, aren't I?
You do have to stay within the laws of physics. You know that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's close. Well, Jerry, that was exactly what he did. And I'll tell you what, if he can't get through to the 6 here, he's a trifle unlucky. No,
he
he's
can.
okay.
He's
What
okay.
a great shot from Darren Appleton. You know, there was only a smattering of applause. That was a terrific shot. The way that he moved that cue ball around the table, got himself into position. And in one shot, he has just given himself this rack. Or at least a great chance at it. Still a bit of work to do from the 7 to the 8. And being able to hold position to the 9 from that 8.
More hesitant than I would expect. There must be something he sees that I don't, that he doesn't like.
Yeah, it's not as clearly in the open as what that camera makes it look.
Yeah, I think he's worried about the edge of the 9 ball, but like you say, to us, it looks like it's there.
Yeah, looks like he might have to. He is spinning it a little bit.
It sure is. Whoa.
Well, very little. Throwing that in with left-hand spin as he looked. Didn't hurt.
That was a real punch shot. Pagulayan probably beginning to feel like he's been punched.
Well, this is the big shot now.
Watch out. Don't overroll this shot. Don't overroll this shot. Whoa. Close.
And he can breathe easy now, even after the dry break in this rack.
This will be the biggest gap of the match at 9-6.
I'll tell you what a finish that was from Darren Appleton. Far from straightforward. Now 3 racks into the comfort zone, the race to 11. And Dynamite Darren Appleton stamping his authority on this match. And cause for concern in the Pagulayan camp. He's got a couple misses in this. Standard very high, so much so that those 2 misses really from Alex stand out.
Yeah. Yeah, at this level, you just can't afford a mistake, much less 2 or 3 of them.
Our good buddy, Danny DiLiberto, just sitting behind Jerry and I. We don't have a spare headset, folks, so.
No, I came here to have a good
But
beer.
he just wanted a good seat.
I'm never all that comfortable when Danny's behind me, though.
Excuse me, good break again from Darren Appleton. Got 2 balls on the break, the 1 and the 6.
We were privileged to watch that induction ceremony the other night. It was a very emotional moment and well deserved.
I still can't believe that the tissue box never came out, especially when Angelo Dundee himself was on. Danny says it was close.
That's
you know.
why my first talk was comedy, to get me off the tears.
That was a very memorable night. I won't forget it, Jerry. And Darren Appleton's looking to turn this into a memorable night.
Well, he's got the layout to do it here. Pagulayan may never rise from the chair again.
Yeah, I don't know what the percentages are of players that have come from the losers bracket to win the U.S. Open. But I'd be willing to bet you that the player that wins and comes through the right-hand side of the draw probably wins at least 75% of the U.S.
You'd
Opens.
have to, because the left-hand side on Friday and Saturday is such an exhausting trip. You've got to play game after game after game. You never get a break.
But even the player that loses in the winner's bracket final, do you remember the loser of this match ever coming back and winning the U.S. Open? I don't.
I don't know. Well, I would imagine Varner has, because Varner tells me he's won many, many more tournaments from the loser's side than the winner's side.
Wow. Darren Appleton is now on the hill. A break and run out. Laid the foundation. And now 10-6 over Pagulayan.
Well, now, wait a minute, Jim. The second year that Eminem won, he lost his first match here.
You're exactly right, and we all know that. He won 14 matches in a row.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more of the loser in the hot seat match.
Oh, I see, yeah.
When Pagulayan looks on.
Lost his second match, then won 14. You know, I didn't want to jump in, but I can't have a bad statistic out in the world.
We understand.
I was trying to stay back.
Wing ball
Ooh.
down.
And he was saved from a scratch, I think, by that kick on the 1 ball. I thought the cue ball was headed straight for the side pocket.
And our colleague Danny DiLiberto has just let us know that this is over. I think he's been as impressed with Darren Appleton as anybody.
If he gets past this shot, take a look at this. See if the cue ball is headed. Oh, yeah, it was the 6 ball that saved him from destruction. This needs to fall. And it does, and he's got the shape he needs. I have to agree with Mr. DiLiberto. This one's over. Do remember, Pagulayan's still alive. He gets to have the honor of playing Sean Putnam next, and that will be very much a Mutt and Jeff act. I hope they stand together at the head of the table so you can see the difference in stature between those two.
Yeah, Alex thankful that it isn't full body contact. And you know, there you look as well, Jerry, and again we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. That's assuming that Darren gets out here, and you'd have to expect him to. You know, one player comes into that match on a high note, the other one on a low note.
Yeah. Boy, I just can't say enough about Appleton's performance this week. Being the defending champion and having that pressure on you, and he's just
banged his way through this field.
If Darren has ever had any pressure on him this week, at no time has it exposed itself. I mean, the odd times when he's found himself trailing in matches, and that has been more than one, he's just got that angry look on his face, like he wants to get out there and rip it apart. And then when he's had the chance, he's been flawless.
He's an ex-fighter.
And as we know, and Danny reminds us, this is a trait that is probably inherent in a lot of ex-fighters. I bet Danny was no different.
Bulldoggedness.
I don't think the Hall of Fame welcomes timid pool players in, does it, Jerry?
Not very often.
Now 5 does go by the 9. He's got plenty of angle on this 3. 4 are made off the break, but he can get into the middle of the table and leave himself a little longer and take those others out of the equation here, and plenty of angle. Pull this off 2 cushions as well and get back over above the 8 to play the 6 into the same corner.
That's his only challenge, is to make certain he gets above that 8 ball. Oh, and he has.
Yeah, he's controlled that cue ball so well all week. He got a bye in his opening round. And Pagulayan will be his 8th victim. Just wrong-sided himself, so he either leaves the long 9 or he smashes this in and goes around the cushions. And I think, just looking at it, Jerry, he should be able to smash this in with a lot of left-hand spin. This is just one of those that personal preference. And I think we can pull the pen out now.
And Pagulayan's going to let him shoot it. I don't blame him.
And shoot it he does. An 11-6 win. Darren Appleton over Alex Pagulayan. He will sit back, go have dinner, and await the Pagulayan-Putnam outcome to see who he will face in the final of the 36th annual U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. Jerry, great to have you in the booth, as always. I know that you're going to have a great seat watching these next few matches, but on behalf of all of us here, really enjoyable, enjoyed it a lot. And again, for Jerry Forsyth, Jim Weich, don't go away, folks. We got a lot more pool coming your way here.